Alright, welcome back to the Schmidt's 100 Acre Woods. So I'm over here at the sawmill. Just wanted to give kind of a quick update what was going on. So a couple nights ago we went and we got the spread oak loaded up onto the sawmill bed here. And we did a couple cuts, and whenever we went to go do the next cut, the saw head wouldn't move down. So it would go up but wouldn't go down. So basically, you'd push the button up, work fine. You'd go down, and you'd hold it, wouldn't do anything. You let off, and it kind of jerk up a little bit. Dad and I did a little bit of diagnosing kind of before, just doing quick looks. So basically, look to see, does the motor run both directions? So we flip the leads on that, and the motor runs the other direction just fine. The other common thing is that the drum switch style, the way that the contacts work, will sometimes either get dust in them or have dirt, or a wire comes loose. So we thought, with all the transport, maybe something would come loose. And so we took that apart and looked under there and didn't see anything obvious. Trying to kind of figure out what was going on. So Dad called the Woodmizer, like help desk or whatever, their number, to get support and everything, and started walking them through kind of how to diagnose it. So on the H bridge, so the back of one of the controllers, there's kind of different lights that will give you a different indication of what signals are being received and things like that. So after going through everything, finally found or got to the conclusion that there's a little circuit card kind of assembly, just a small one that is on top of the simple set, and something with that has failed that isn't allowing the circuit to go into the down part. So it split the up and the down into two different parts of the circuit, and the down one isn't working. So this is currently not a part that they stock. So it's made in Batesville, Indiana. So they actually have to make the circuit card and then send it to us. So they figured it'd be kind of 4 to 7 days to get it, make it and then ship it. So kind of right now we're kind of at a standstill with the sawmill. I think this is of any fault of Woodmizer. I think it's a circuit card, and I don't think it's anything on the circuit card that they make. It has to do with an IC that's on there, and it seemed they mentioned that they've had some other failures, and it seems like there's an IC or something, an integrated circuit on there that is failing. So they bought a bad batch or some lot that is on that circuit card run or that IC run that is having premature failure and is then causing the overall sawmill to have that issue of running up and down. So it sucks that we can't use the sawmill right now. I just wanted to kind of give an update that even though it's unfortunate that happened, the thing only has 10 hours on it. So, this is not a bad mouth of Woodmizer at all. I think it's still a great product. I don't think it's anything that they did. Like I said, that they can buy a bad batch. It can happen to anyone and on any, anything that uses electronics. It's the possibility that, whoever makes that IC is just had a bad batch. So, so I don't fault them at all for that. The encouraging thing is we called their help desk. They have kind of the frontline guy that takes general questions, and then once they found out it was kind of more than that, they get kind of the electrical specialist in, and he walked through and said what things to check and sent a updated wiring diagram as far as everything that's in there, so you can kind of trace what the wires go to and everything. So they were extremely helpful when it came to that. They, walked through everything and got, out here, we were able to pinpoint what the issue is. And, with only 10 hours, it's a warranty deal, and, nothing that we did. So the cost of that circuit card is covered. So, I think as far as their customer service goes, it is excellent. Very helpful, knowledgeable to be able to diagnose something and walk you through, how to diagnose something. So I think, that's a huge benefit. Just kind of want to give an update so that if other people are having similar issues, they know potentially what it is. I'm not saying this is going to be the solution for everyone, but it is obviously something that can happen. So, and if you have a Woodmizer and are having issues, definitely don't hesitate to call their help desk. Their customer service is excellent and are very willing to help you walk through any issues you may have. So we're very appreciative of that and looking forward to getting that new part and get to cutting again. So hopefully this helps someone else kind of identify maybe if they're having an issue. I know that whenever I looked it up, there's not a whole lot out there. There's definitely not a whole lot for the LX150. Now the LX150 does use the same electric motor as some of the other ones, so we're able to kind of use that to maybe pinpoint, but nothing that directly led back to this. So again, not necessarily their fault. Nothing they could do about it. It's something from basically another tier outside of them that they get parts from. So anyway, hopefully this helps someone identify maybe some issues they're having, and I'll have more videos of getting logs cut up and getting more boards. Okay, so welcome back to the Schmitter's 100 Acre Woods. So previous time I'll edit it all together, but it talked about the sawmill not working. So we finally got it resolved. So I'll kind of show you some of the pieces that we got sent and what actually finally fixed it. So what I got here, so this is the board that goes up with the simple set. So initially believed it was this board here that was bad. So this is the one that they actually sent us. There's some programming on it, and since this one wasn't bad, we switched it back out with the one that originally came with the mill. So we have this one, so it has the display on it. So this is the display you see for the simple set, and as you can see, it's just a simple circuit card. Originally believed that this was the culprit. That's what kind of the initial diagnoses led to. So replaced this, and it didn't end up fixing it. So there's only really one other thing that's on the sawmill that controls like the up and down and all the controls, and that is the H bridge. So that would be this item here. So it's got heatsink on here, so you can't see a whole lot. Some big capacitors there, I don't know, a handful of ICs and some resistors and everything. So there's a board in here, and then they wrap it in this as a heatsink. You can see by the fins that are on there. And basically this has the ground, 12 volts, the motor connections there. So this is where a lot of the big power goes through, and you can see I have the connector on the back. So this was the other thing. So this is the one that is bad. So they sent us a new one of these, got it put in the mill, and everything started working again. So it was this device that was actually bad. So they didn't want us to send this back or anything. So we're gonna actually kind of go through and just see if there's an obvious issue with it. Just to kind of try to see what we see by looking at it. But they did get the issue resolved. It did take a little while. So this board, the first one I showed you, it is something that was stock, so they had to make that one. And then this one here is something they do stock. So once we plugged the other circuit board in and it didn't resolve the issue, got switched over to this one, and things started working again. So so I don't know how I'm gonna edit all this together, but basically we finally finished getting the red oak that was on there that we had made 2 cuts on. We got it finished cut up and made some 2x8s and some 3x4 for the trusses that are going to be over that building. So so we are finally functioning again. So I just kind of want to give an update on what it was. Again, I don't want this to be a bash against Woodmizer. I think it's a good product. Their customer service has been great the entire time. I want it more just informational, so if there are people having issues where the motor will run up but won't go down, and whenever you push the down button it just kind of jumps. Just want to have this as a resource for people to be able to search and see that it ended up, for us anyway, it ended up being this H-bridge and everything. So just wanted to kind of give an update on that and everything. And I think here pretty soon we're going to start working on trying to get some of the lumber pulled out to start building that back wall, just because we kind of got quite a bit going. So we're going to go through and hopefully maybe start doing a little bit of building, just get that back wall kind of established. That'll use up quite a few 2x8s, and it'll be the majority of the 2x8s that we need for the project. So I'll kind of get those out, and then we can start stockpiling some of the other stuff that we need. We'll still need lots of 2x4s, things like that. So anyway, that's what we currently got. Just want to give an update on this and kind of what we found, and hopefully help someone else out in the future. Kind of show you what we do have. So here we have some 2x8s. So you can see there's a little bit of crack in here, so we'll have to cut this end off. But anyway, so we have some 2x8s here. So we have our 6x6s there. Have some more 2x8s, some 2x6s, some 3x4s, and over here we kind of have 2x4s in this direction. And then here's some red oak stuff that we did, so kind of a small veneer piece, and then kind of an offshoot piece here, but then like some 2x8s here. So just kind of working on, this is all going to be stuff that we use for the building that will go over the sawmill here. So we're not super worried about it drying out, obviously. Just leaving it out. It's currently wet. We plan to build with it green, so not as concerned about that. Over here we have the kind of the wood that we plan on kind of using for other stuff. So it's all some bigger boards that we have stickered over there, and just have a tarp on so that the rain that we got last night doesn't continue to soak those down. Other thing I will mention is you'll notice this piece down here was part of this wall. So just kind of not being super familiar with the sawmill and kind of thinking it all through, we didn't account for the fact that the station that you run the sawmill from is right here. So with it all the way back, you need to be standing right here, which this was a wall. You need to be standing right here to run the sawmill. So if you have it all the way back, you're having to kind of set offside over here, and wasn't super convenient. And then if the sawmill's all the way back, there was no good way to get around to walk next to it. So we went ahead and just took the cutoff saw, put a diamond blade on that, and just cut this there. We're at the wood yard. So today we got 1/4 of an inch or a little bit more rain, so everything's pretty muddy. But can't do a whole lot else right now, and want to start getting some of this pared down. So these are all of the scraps from the woodyard. So we have kind of some of the cherry that we didn't salvage. We have quite a bit of it salvaged, but I'm sorry, walnut here. And then we have a little bit of poplar, some more walnut, and I think there's some cherry in here somewhere. But basically I'm going to use all of this as bag firewood. So I'm going to whittle this down into nice little, I don't know, pieces about yay big. So I'll be able to get a few from each one. It's pretty thin, obviously, so should dry out really quick, and should make for pretty good bag firewood. I'll have to kind of change how I do it, but reutilizing all this. Still have this that I need to work on getting through, so work on that. Have this that needs to be stacked still, and just haven't gotten to it. And just in the handful of boards that we've done so far, I already have a lot more of this that I need to cut up and get into 16 inch pieces. So found out that using the backhoe to pick it up and then just mark off like you normally would with the log and cut them off works really well. If like for this bigger piece, probably won't do it. For a lot of the pieces over there, I can get several of them stacked up and line the ends up, then measure and cut. So I have quite a bit of this over here that I need to still do, but I'm going to try to just use this tote, so I want to get that done, stack it in that tote over there. I'll move it closer, and once I have that tote empty, come back over, start cutting these, fill it back up, and repeat. So I'm curious to see kind of a tote like that, how much I get out of it whenever I split it and stack it nice in there. And then eventually I'll get to all this stuff too. It's mostly sycamore, as you can see, so it's not as nice a firewood, but I'll work on getting to it before too long, and get it split and stacked so that it can start drying.
So high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Dangerous times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world, but keep the sky on your mind.